I'm not sure all of this will fit in my frame at once. This is a junk journal that I've created as a birthday gift for a friend of mine who's having a significant birthday. The overall size is 6¼ by 9¼ and it has about 200 pages. I think it's 180 pages. The diary is themed after Outlander. And I'll just give a quick run through. It says Outlander, and this is I imagined this to be a journal or a diary of Claire Frazier's. So it's all about Claire and her life. And I have put together all kinds of pockets with all kinds of things that relate to Claire or the times at which she lived. The story starts right at the end of World War II, and it goes back and forth through the actual 1700s and so on. If you're familiar with the story, you know what I mean. So this is a diary that I made, and so I put this in here for my friend. Tell your story. And I'll just quickly go through this. Most of it is for writing. I used coffee and stained most of the pages, and then some I left unstained, but they're decorated in some way. I used several digital copies and things of I didn't really use any kits, but I did in Graphics Fairy. I used a few actual journal pages to to download and print. This is Claire's obituary. And Claire was a nurse, and she was a botanist, and she loved nature, and she went to Scotland. And so this is all based on Scottish lore. And this is a picture of her love, Jamie. I made this to put in here. I thought if I were Claire, I would want a picture of my love with a seal, a wax seal. And that's typical of Scotland. And I've just created page after page of, 200 pages of decorated writing, mostly writing. I wanted this to be like a real writing journal, and a lot of it has to do with specimens, meaning as a botanist or a nurse, she would be interested in all kinds of nature. This is a little dangle. I keep the mushroom. And I just included this because my friend loves to read. I have lived 1,000 lives. I have loved 1,000 loves. I have walked on distant worlds and seen the end of time because I read. I just love that. And this is one of her favorite sayings. What if I fall? But oh my darling, what if you fly? Isn't that pretty? Another pocket here. And so it goes. Little doily. Love the dragonflies. And lots of pages. And this is a whole sewing kit kind of thing. I've called it a needle book. And inside of here are all kinds of pictures of the dress that she wore in France and all different beautiful little sewing items. And this is just an old gingham, percale gingham. It's just different samples, swatch samples. And again, back to her botany. Beautiful piece. I love that piece. And that's Craig Nadoon. That's where she went through the stones. Oh, and between each signature, I put something, a little something. So there's 9 signatures, so I believe there's 8 different spots. And this is just some more botany spots with a, this is a slide I made with a real flower. And a little envelope that I made out of book page. I had so much fun making this. I can't tell you. It took me a long time, but it's a labor of love. Forget-me-not. When she's going through the stones, it's the forget-me-nots that she goes back to find, and that's what brings her through the stones. This is a little pocket sort of thing with all kinds of different memorabilia and little insects, and this is a page to write down on her experiments. She does a lot of experimenting because as she goes back in time, she tries to bring to the past future medicine like penicillin. So she does a whole lot of experimentation at some points in the story. Another picture of the stones at Craignadoon. Another slide. Another little, what's inside here? Just little pretty words. Imagine, joy, inspiration. It's a little accordion book, not book, a little piece that you can use. Another slide. This is just a pretty journal spot. Little pocket. This one's rather delicate, this little spot. Nice. I love this for the crunchy sound. And I love that. Look at that. Isn't that great? This is a Highland Scotland sheet music cover. Oh, this is cute. I think I got this from R.D. Mays online, one of her digi-kits. It's a, Holyrood is a palace in, I think it's in England, Scotland, Edinburgh, Scotland. And there's just pictures, old pictures. And Frank, her husband, was interested in Scottish genealogy and such. Isn't that adorable? I love that. Old maps. Yeah. And in the story, they travel all over the world. So, like, at one point, they're at the ocean. Just a pretty little, kind of a bookmarky thing. It flips it over, and it's got different ferns. I suppose it's a bookmark. Just to pull out. It's a little field journal booklet that I made that she could carry here and there. And this is where she's trying to get back. She wants to go back in time, back to her original time. And these are little cards that have actual stones on them. And she's trying to find the gemstone that she needs to travel through the rocks with, the stones. And so I've collected a bunch. Here's different ones, all different. These are real amethysts and tourmaline. So I've got actual rocks here, red oxide, fluorite, quartz. So these are all different. And this is a very old, from the 1600s, Natural Magic on Counterfeiting Precious Stones. She'll try anything. So this is a kind of a recipe on how to make stones. And here's a little map of Craignadoon that she needs to, she knows where she needs to go to get back, because she's traveling all over. And just a pretty little journal spot. This is an envelope, and it has some Little bees and butterflies. Some stamping. It's another bookmark. This is a page I put together. It's called a Franken page. You take scraps, cardstock or paper, and sew them together and make another new page. I love that. And this is another book of magic. How to intermingle different kinds of plants to produce new kinds of plants. And I've aged all these. These were digital, and I ripped them and added the tape and made them look even older. And this is just a postcard that she's received at some point. And another experiment card to fill out. And this pocket here. Nice, pretty, this is real old sheet music. The nice tag. This is a belly band with 2 maps. Old maps. One of Europe, this one is of Scotland. Just another little card. It says basil here. Upside down. Love that. It says the British Nature History from the British Museum. Another end of the other side of that Franken page. And then here's the back, with another big pocket with other kinds of things that you might keep in a diary. This is some kind of listing, and this is from her childhood when she was growing up with her uncle. And these are postcards that she mailed years and years ago to her cousin. So I hope she likes it. And that's the back. And then this is I love it. And I tried to make it look old and not fancy. I was thinking in the early 1740s, I highly doubt, unless you had tons and tons of money, books were scarce and books were rather plain. So that's why I did this. And the insides have the marbling that was very typical of the era. There's some marbling here too. Well, thanks for watching. Have a great day.